My friends around me were choosing their university programs and their career paths, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. I would pick up a university application form and I would have an anxiety attack. And I'd never had an anxiety attack before, so I didn't know what was happening to me. Everyone else seemed to know what they were doing. And my anxiety attacks got so bad that I wasn't able to fill out those forms, and so I didn't go to university. I thought, if I can't even fill out the form, what business do I have being a university student? Looking back at this situation now, I know that this anxiety was my first experience with the stirring of my soul, with my search for purpose. So I didn't share my anxiety with anyone. I didn't use my voice. And the truth that I should have told at that time was that I thought that I'd been put here on earth and forgotten about. I felt lost and alone. I believed in God, but I couldn't find him in my life. I couldn't see that I had a purpose in this world, and so I thought that I'd been created by mistake. I thought that I was God's mistake. As a coping mechanism, I stuffed away my anxiety, thinking that I was just an emotional, dramatic flake, and I soldiered on. I followed societal and cultural norms, and I married a nice man, and I fell into a good career, and I built a thriving business, and I had 2 adorable babies, and I had a house in an inner city, sought-after neighborhood. At the time, I would have thought that my life was perfect, enviable on the outside, but I was completely empty on the inside. I achieved everything and more that I set out to do at that time, but I still always felt like my life had not amounted to anything. I thought I was wasting my life. And I also always felt guilty that what I did have never felt like enough. The inner conflict about this grew inside me, and my anxiety came back again. My soul was screaming for me to fulfill my purpose, but I didn't recognize its voice yet. I tried to fix things. I changed my hair. I sold my business. I left my career. I looked for new friends. I did end up going to university, and none of this helped. My anxiety increased until one day I woke up and I realized that I was living a lie. I was an outsider looking in at a life that I know was not meant for me. And I didn't know what else to do. And then in 2006, I did the most drastic thing that I probably could have done. I left my husband, and I hit rock bottom. But that's when I blew wide open. I finally took the time to do that soul searching. I had always looked outward for happiness, and now I turned inward instead. And I finally had the solitude and the clarity to search, to consider my purpose. I found the freedom to explore those years of yearning, my true heart's desires. And what I learned was about my intuition and how to understand it. And I learned how to recognize my voice and the importance of having it and using it. I had never used my heart's voice. I had never let it be free before. So I was super excited, and I decided to set a path to help as many other people as possible with their search for their purpose, and to provide a platform for them to use their voices. So over the next 2 years, I embarked on a new career in television production, and I met a new man, and I fell madly in love. I had a zest for life that I had rarely experienced before, and I was excited to help people, and I was going to change the world. And then life happened. I was a mom with young children, and I couldn't find my way in my new career. I couldn't seem to get ahead. And so I took a safe job outside of TV instead, and life was good. My children were thriving, and in 2012, the man that I mentioned proposed. Life was really good, but I was not fulfilling my purpose. So guess what? I see this message on Facebook all the time. The universe keeps giving you the lesson until you've learned what you need to learn and you make the changes you need to make. And so on Valentine's Day of 2013, my fiance was diagnosed with cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma, and we spent the next 6 months fighting that. Put all of our energy in it, and I'm thrilled to report that we did fight it and we did beat it. But here's the little thing that I probably shouldn't tell you. I felt super ungrateful. Life didn't change after this life-changing ordeal, after this near-death experience, and I felt ripped off. I was super excited and thought that after all of the stress, we would be rewarded with a new outlook on life and a need to achieve something greater. But that didn't happen. And I wanted this to be the kick in the pants that I needed to turn back towards my purpose, but I was tired. I was really, really tired. I felt defeated, and actually I was afraid as well. I thought that I wasn't cut out for what I thought I was supposed to be doing, and I thought I'd made a mistake in the path that I'd chosen. So instead of making this a life-changing opportunity, I started to coast through life again, put all of my energy into my family, and played life small. I was trying to protect myself from another crippling blow. You think that worked? So because I hadn't learned the lesson yet, and because I hadn't made the change that I needed to make, in 2014, I became ill. I developed food sensitivities that wreaked havoc on my body. I couldn't keep any food inside me. I had a foggy brain, I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't conjure words, and I slurred my speech. I had headaches, horrible, horrible headaches. It felt like I was always really, really hungover, even though I never had a drink. And I didn't have any energy. It got to the point where I was sleeping through 2/3 of the day and then sleeping all night as well. I couldn't work, I couldn't look after my children, and I really couldn't do anything. After a year, I was finally diagnosed with adrenal fatigue. My adrenal glands were shutting down, and I was put on an artificial cortisol, a thyroid medication, a fistful of other medications and supplements, and those were supposed to help my adrenal glands in their recovery. With my illness came that same old feeling that there must be something more to life than I had discovered thus far. My soul was crying out for attention again. It was another opportunity to consider my purpose, and I prayed to God I would make something of my life if I could just recover my health. I became convinced that my life was meant to serve a greater purpose. And now I had a story to tell, an experience to leverage, but I didn't use it. I lost momentum. My physical health hindered my efforts, and the road to recovery was long. In early 2017, I was mostly recovered, but I still was suffering from some of the symptoms. It was discouraging, and I used my lack of energy as an excuse for the discomfort and fear that I was still feeling about stepping into my light. And apparently the universe didn't like my excuse and didn't think that I was moving fast enough, because then swiftly came lesson number 4. In the summer of 2017, my husband left me. I had thought he was the love of my life. But now here I stand before you. I am fulfilling my purpose. I am public speaking. I am using my voice. I am sharing my story about searching for purpose. and I'm hoping that someone else will be helped in their search for purpose. And what I've learned most recently is that when you get to know yourself and you step fully into your life, you are fulfilling your purpose. So with nothing left to fear, this is me.